The USS Maine National Monument, located in Central Park, New York City, was erected on September 1st, 1912, and was dedicated on May 30th, 1913. The architect for this monument was Harold von Buren McGonigal, and the figures around the base, as well as the gold statue at the peak, were sculpted by Attila Piccirilli. The creation of the monument was called for to remember the 258 crew members who died in the sinking of the USS Maine on February 14, 1898. Although it was commissioned to memorialize the crew who died in the sinking of the USS Maine, the aesthetic devices on and around the USS Maine National Monument focus on promoting the idea of victory, as well as the idea of American imperialism. Because of the negative connotations surrounding American imperialism, these characteristics are unfitting for a monument that's purpose is to venerate those who died for their country. For some brief background, the USS Maine was a battleship stationed in the port of Havana to protect Americans living in Cuba during the Cuban War for Independence against Spain. On February 15, 1898, the Maine was destroyed by an explosion, killing 258 of the crew and also sinking the ship. Although the cause of the explosion was unknown, the American press jumped to the conclusion that it was caused by Cuban Spanish loyalists. In addition to already existing economic interest in Cuba, after the sinking of the Maine, Congress demanded Spain to withdraw from Cuba, and when they refused, America declared war. The Spanish-American War is generally accepted to be one of the first examples of American imperialism and the mindset that America is the defender of democracy. Although it can appear that American imperialism is benevolent, in many aspects it is not. American imperialism has negative connotations because it was justified through racist misinformation as well as ideas of quasi-superiority. American imperialism was inspired by philosopher John Fiske's conception of Anglo-Saxon racial superiority and Protestant clergyman Josiah Strong's call to civilize and Christianize what he considered to be the, quote, savage peoples of the world. Keeping in mind the negative connotation of American imperialism, let's shift to looking at other commemorative monuments. Rather than extravagant embellishments, bright colors, and colossal architecture found in many monuments, common characteristics among commemorative monuments are simplicity, muted colors, and the use of negative space. Here at the National September 11th Memorial, we can see the muted tones, the lack of embellishment or detailed architecture, as well as a focus on negative space, symbolized metaphorically and literally by the holes where the towers once stood. Here at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, we again see similar muted colors, simple architecture, and again the use of negative space, cutting into the earth as opposed to rising above. Again, the Korean War Veterans Memorial has similar characteristics. It is mostly black and again uses negative space, referencing the fact that it is often considered the forgotten war. Now look again at the Maine Monument. Without any historical context, one would view the USS Maine National Monument as a completely positive monument. The gold figure at the top, the complex embellishments, the fact that it is enormous and the center of attention. One would not expect it to be memorializing the death of hundreds. But even within context, the statues around the monument are similarly unfitting for the subject matter. Built in a neoclassical style, there are several statues around the base that allegorically depict figures such as peace, courage, fortitude, justice, war, and history. It is possible to view these aspects of the monument as pro-war propaganda. Instead of focusing on the tragedy of war and death, the Maine monument serves to show how war can create peace through courage and fortitude. The top of the monument depicts Columbia Triumphant, an allegorical symbol of victory, cast from the cannons from the USS Maine. It is bronze, but gilded with gold leaf. Again, this is ironic in the sense that those who died in the Maine were, in a way, sacrificed for victory. They did not have a chance to truly fight for their country. To further prove that the USS Maine Monument is an example of imperialistic architecture, one can look at the USS Maine Monument in Havana, Cuba. Built in 1926, it consists of two Roman-style columns, a bronze eagle adorned at the top, and has similar neoclassical style to other American pieces from this time. On January 18, 1961, the eagle was torn off and the following inscription was added. To the victims of the Maine who were sacrificed by the imperialist ferocity and their desire to gain control of the island of Cuba. Although the Maine Monument's inscriptions on the side do pay respect to those who died in the Maine, it is simply not enough. It's not the focus of the monument. If this monument instead was created to solely express the victory over Spain during the Spanish-American War, it may be fitting. But one has to keep in mind that this is a monument commissioned to commemorate the unforeseen, unfortunate early deaths of Americans, something that it does not succeed in doing.